Good morning, guys. Anthony here. It's Saturday, September 16th, 2017. We've got our Renogy 100 watt folding solar panel with charge controller right here. I've got the necessary attachments for the MC4 to SAE connection that I need for my camper, and I have the necessary extension cables 15 feet to run from the solar panel to the camper so I could set up the panels in the sun. So what we're going to do, or what my plan is, one of my plans with this setup, with this Renogy panel, is not only to charge deep cycle batteries and a number of other things, but our camper can be run off grid with the solar, basically. And I want to be able to run lights and a fan and basic things in the camper if we were off grid, and this Renogy panel and the associated pieces here should get me there. So we're going to walk over to the camper now, set this up, plug it in, and we'll see if it's working. Alright guys, we are at the camper here, and just wanted to show you here on the back end of the camper is the ZAMP Solar SAE connector. So that's where my connection will come in to the camper to provide the power to the battery. Here's my solar panel. I'm going to open it up and show you more, but this is the 250 watt monocrystalline panels right here. Two 15-foot connection cables to run from the panel, so I can have some distance to get from the panel to the out in the sun. This is the Renogy MC4 tool that helps you disconnect these MC4 connectors. Once you put them together, you could disconnect them if you wanted to. You need this tool to do that. And then I had to buy the Renogy MC4 to SAE adapter, which is right here. So there's your MC4, and this is the SAE, which will plug in directly to the camper, just like this, and just like this, and that'll go to the panels. Now, I heard on a YouTube video that ZAMP Solar reverses the polarity of their hookup. If that's the case, then I needed to get this little pigtail here, which is a polarity reverser. So this will put it back to the regular power. Positive, negative. So we might not need this. We don't know. I'm gonna try to hook it up now and then see what happens. Okay guys, there's the panels opened up. There's the back of the R-Pod here. I've got them facing away from the sun right now until I hook everything up. But those are your 250 watt monocrystalline panels. And then you come back here to the back of the Renogy setup. You have your fold out legs that you can adjust. So I have those out right now. You've got all your connections pre-made when you buy this setup. You've got your Adventurer PWM, I believe, solar controller, charge controller. There's the other leg, and this charge controller is velcroed in. It will pull off and just kind of hang down, so you can still read your battery levels. And then your cord coming off the solar controller that'll hook to the panels. Now the solar controller has to be adjusted to the type of battery you have, so once we get that going, we'll see how to do that. Okay guys, here you see we have it set up right now. I have the panels in the sun, I have the wires connected, and I do want to point out that I did need the reverse polarity pigtail connector that I connected right here to the camper. So it went from the camper to the Renogy pigtail. And what that does is, I guess ZAMP Solar, the people who put these in the campers and install these outlet boxes, have some type of proprietary way they hook it up. They reverse the polarity, so you need to get one of these. And I found that out online watching some videos, so I'm glad I bought this little $10 piece. Otherwise, when I had it just plugged in from here, from the Renogy panel, the solar controller would not go on, it would not kick on. So right now you see it going through its various states there that says the battery, my camper battery's at 38%. And so that's pretty good for having it. It's been sitting here for a couple months. We haven't used the camper. And then, and so that's cycling through. So I'm going to see basically how long it takes to top that battery off. I've got no power on in the camper at all right now. But I just want to take note of the time of day. It's 9:40 a.m. So 9:40 a.m. on the 16th. You see it right there. Okay. So 9:40 a.m. my battery is at 41% now, so it's going up. Okay, so I want to show you something on my battery also. So when I purchased the Renogy setup, I purchased a 15-foot cables. They come in lengths of, I think, 5, 10, 15, and 20 feet. So eventually I'll probably get, I may get the 20-foot ones just to have them. So on a day like today, when I'm parked, I have plenty of cable here to put this panel and move it around a little bit. So that's a good thing. This Renogy panel, I'll do a separate video on it, but just very, very well built. I have one on my van, a 100-watt panel on my van with a charge controller that runs the refrigerator. And so that runs great, and I like Renogy products. And this is the, I bought this on Optimate. I think it was 10 bucks. It's the, it says it on here somewhere, reverse polarity. I think it's on the bottom. Hold on. Yeah. Polarity changer. Okay. I'll put the link to this in the description box for anyone that has an RPod or the ZAMP solar setup, kind of like it is here on their camper, and wishes to get the Renogy, or excuse me, the off-grid solar going. You will need to do that to get that going. And then always buy these, they're like $6, you get 2 of them, these Renogy clips or tool, the Renogy MC4 tool. That way you can take apart your connections and put everything away and fold your panels up and disconnect your cables when you're done. So everything's easy to take apart, because these MC4 connectors do not come off very easily without this tool. Okay, so let's take a walk over to the battery side of the, and also the Renogy comes with a really nice case here, soft case that protects it. That's a good thing. So on my camper battery, I've got a kill switch. So I just came in and put my key in there and turned it on, so it's actively getting juice now from the solar. So that is very, very good. And let's go inside the camper and we'll check out some items here. Alright guys, just to show you a few things, I've got the LED lights on here. So tonight when this battery charges up, we're going to come in the camper, we're going to open it up and run some things during the night and just make sure everything's running. I want to see how far and how long the battery takes to charge. Let me get to the stereo here, my table's in the way. More undermount lighting is working. Back here in the bedroom, lights are working. You see the cable TV light is on. We're getting power to the radio. Let me see here. Volume, speaker, FM. Okay, you got the outside speakers on. Now the inside speakers. Let's see. Oh, I changed the stereo here. I never used the darn stereo.
I want to stress to the nines, and Rich Mullins was there, and he felt so uncomfortable.
Here we go, guys. We got power to the
rich
speakers.
setting, so to speak. I'm going along the dessert line, and I think. Well, that was Rich Mullins.
Shower light.
On the counter serving. Went out with the folks. And their fancy dots. Rich Mullins was the real thing. Rich Mullins loved Jesus.
Let's
I love you.
open the fan here and put on the fan. Okay, here the outside speakers are on. Alright guys, my battery is reading 71%. Let's see. 14.3 volts, 72% battery. That's jumping up pretty quick there. That's great. It's only been about 10 minutes. Like I said, we're going to get ready to take this camper out next weekend. We're going to start our fall camping season here in Charlotte, and I want to make sure that if I was off the grid, or I did want to just run off-grid operations with this, I can keep the battery charged and topped off with the solar panels. So that is a great thing. And then I also have my van as backup power also with the 100-watt panel there. And so I think I'm going to buy another Renogy setup, the one without the charge controller, to use for my Goal Zero batteries when needed. So that's something else I may do. And you can't go wrong with these panels. They're fantastic. This setup here that I have, I'm going to also do a video on running a deep cycle battery set up with an inverter, kind of mobile operations for like ham radio, to keep your radio up and running indefinitely. With something like this and a deep cycle battery, like a VMAX 35 amp hour battery. And like I said, guys, just a really quality product here. You can't go wrong with the Renogys for the money. I think this was $229, this setup for the panel setup with the solar controller. Actually, no, wait a minute, they made a mistake. When I went on Amazon, when I went on the Renogy site over Labor Day to buy this, I bought the one without the charge controller because I wanted it primarily for my Goal Zero Yeti 400 battery. So that has a built-in charge controller, so you don't need a charge controller. I just needed the panels. When they sent this to me, I got the one with the charge controller, which is normally like $279. So I paid a discounted price on Labor Day for the one without the charge controller, and they sent me this one anyway. So I definitely made out on that deal. So now my next purchase will be for the one with the without the charge controller, because you can't really just take this on and off the panels. I'd like to just keep it the way it is, this setup here. And again, I have the Velcro here because this is not waterproof, so it does stick underneath the panels there to protect it if it did start raining. And then you have your adjustable legs that you can adjust to the height or the angle that you want, and then it all folds back up and goes back in the kit, guys. Okay guys, it's 10:04 a.m. and I think we put that on less than a half hour ago, the panels that is. So let's see where we are with the battery. So we're at 90%. So I would say within another 15-20 minutes, so under an hour, we topped off our battery here in the sun with this 100-watt panel, hooked up with 15 feet of cable, the proper connections. And it always pays, guys, to do some research before you embark on something like this. I had no idea that the ZAMP Solar was reversed, so I would have been plugging it in with just this into here, and then thinking my solar panels weren't working properly, or maybe this actual input plug was bad. So knowing that the system works, that the plug is hooked to my battery, the ZAMP plug is hooked to my battery in the camper, and that this setup works is really good, because I haven't gone on a trip yet, and I'd rather not find that out going on a trip and then having need this off grid or dry camping, and then not have it. So that's my video for today, guys. I wanted to show you guys how that's done. And so, you know, a simple $10, simply watching a few YouTube videos and going on the owner's page, the RPod owner's page on Facebook, put a question out there, and some of the guys told me that also that this was the case. So just went ahead and did my work and figured that out, and bought the right pieces and put them in place. So there you have it, guys, the Renogy 100 monocrystalline folding solar suitcase with charge controller, proper cabling, and attachments. Running the RPod off grid. Hey guys, I wanted to show you one other thing before I finish the video here. My RPod is equipped with the slide out. You guys have, maybe you've seen that in some of my other videos. So right now the slide is in, but I can run this slide out and set the camper up fully, running right off the battery, just by this button here. If I hit out, you'll hear it kick on and it'll start going out. Okay, and now I'll bring it back in. So off my battery I can run the from the solar, I can run the slide in and out. Make sure everything's shut before I shut down here. Make sure all my LED lights are off. All are off except the one in the front here. Okay. Like I say, this RPod, we keep it basically fully stocked, all except for food and certain items, but most everything is on here. Dishes and silverware and coffee pots and cups and saucers and first aid and all kinds of things, flashlights. Everything is pre-packaged in pouches and ready to go. Also in the overheads, I believe we have a few things that we keep here. Yeah, there's a pouch there my wife has. There's some sheets or something in it. The chairs, the mat that goes outside. The sheets and blanket, we just keep the just this covered, the mattress covered with that. And there's the closet. Can't see that good. Again, the drawer with the remotes and some CDs. Just a few things that we need. Okay, chargeable light there. And toiletries for the bathroom. A couple things are packed. Toilet paper. Some soaps. Okay. So pretty much it's just grabbing some gear that we need for the trip, taking this baby out and setting it up. And we've got some under the bed storage there. There's a whole box with some stuff in it as well. So we'll be back later tonight when we open this up and hang out in it a little bit. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay ready. You got to think about solar long before an event happens, you know, especially like a grid down situation. If you had to take this out and kind of be out of your home, maybe your home was flooded and you got out and you took your camper and you had a way of going off grid, at least to run some basic things. You want to make sure your solar setup functions properly. And so that's why you do this stuff now versus last minute. Okay? And these items are really hard to get last minute. So if you're making a getaway, odds are you're not going to be able to order a solar panel and have it delivered in time. And a setup like this. Thanks guys. Take care. Stay ready.